When many people think of church, they think of this: a building or weekly event, or maybe a religious organization you belong to. This is what the prevailing model of church has looked like for the past few hundred years. However, the world is changing, and this model is working for fewer and fewer people. And by now, most of us are aware that it comes with many downsides and problems. What the church and the world needs is systemic change. To break it down, the prevailing model of church is made up of three parts: the building, brand, or organization, the pastor or leaders of the organization, and finally, the actual church, which is the community of people. Many of our problems are the result of rolling all three of these things into a single package we've come to call church. Let's say Church A and Church B are in the same neighborhood. Pastor A and Pastor B need to attract and retain people in order for their churches to be viable. So they have to keep producing more and more content and programming for people to consume in order to keep them coming. Although these churches are supposed to be on the same team, the model sets them up to be competitors. One day, Pastor C shows up in the neighborhood and plants a new church. Church C may attract some new attendees from the wider community, but more likely will simply be taking people away from churches A and B. The majority of growing churches today is the result of people moving from one church to another. And just like in business, it's the large, well-funded churches that have the most advantages. It's almost as if the way we do church has been shaped more by industry and capitalism than by God's upside-down kingdom. Our current systems and structures have kept us divided and disconnected. Instead of being one, as Jesus prayed, we've split the body of Christ into thousands of dismembered body parts, all competing with one another, and each one claiming to know what's best. What if there's a better way? What if we could deconstruct the current model and rearrange its parts into a new system that's more equitable and sustainable for all, not just a few? Instead of top-down hierarchies, what if we could gather in smaller relational communities that practice mutuality and share power by taking turns in leadership? Instead of just following someone else's agenda, what if we could empower groups to take ownership of their spiritual journeys and discern what they need in order to grow and thrive? We still need leaders, experts, and religious organizations. We just don't need to keep everyone captive to a static, one-size-fits-all model. In our current model, each leader is limited to whatever number of people they're able to attract. But in a new, open system, every leader would be able to make their work available to everyone in the system. Instead of being limited to just one voice, one culture, or one tradition, everyone would be free to learn from everyone. And the best part is, the more people, leaders, and organizations join the system, the more everyone benefits. What we're proposing is a paradigm shift from scarcity and competition to a living ecosystem based on abundance and cooperation. Instead of belonging to a church, what if we can be the church together and all belong to one another as one body? New Wine Collective is proposing a fundamentally different way of being and doing church that can change the way we do everything else. Our goal is to create an online platform that can support an alternative system, one that makes spiritual community more accessible and sustainable for all. The church needs change, and sometimes the only way to change a system is to create a new one from the ground up.